Hi guys. Hi guys. Happy New Year. Welcome if you are new to the channel. Welcome back if you're one of the TXC crew. I'm Larita. I'm an attorney. And today we're going to talk about what happened in the week has only been here. The New Year has only been here for 7 days. And we already have craziness happening within the legal system. And I'm going to do my reaction to the recent case where a defendant Superman himself over the bitch and attacked the judge, and kind of how I was seeing it through my own lenses. And I want you to let me know in the comment section, what do you think about it? What would you have done if you were in that situation? I was looking at it from different lenses, from the defense counsel's position, from the judge's position, from the judicial law clerk's position. I was kind of saying, well, what would I do if I was in those particular positions? And I guess having a view from the defendant's position to see what made him do that. But we're going to jump into it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you the video so that we can see. But I want to see what you guys think about that. And as usual, hop in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from and do a shout out. So I see we have, hey, Judy, glad to see you back on YouTube. Thanks, Judy, for welcoming me back to the YouTube. I took a little bit of break off, but I'm back now with some interesting news. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we can watch it real quick and then I can do my reaction. So let's see. Let me make sure that you guys can see it. And then make it a little bigger. All right, let's see.
By virtue of you pleaded guilty, I hereby judge you guilty of attempt battery with substantial bodily harm.
I'm a person who never stops trying to do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. And I just, and I'm trying, and I never give up trying to do the right thing.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada.
No.
Okay, so let me come back. That was a lot. Oh, let me just see. We have shout out from Janice. Hi, Janice from Texas. Thanks for watching, Janice. Janice, what do you think about that? I just let you guys see a little clip of it. And as I was watching it, I was like, okay, we have a defense attorney. I don't know if he was a public defender or somebody that was a private lawyer who he hired. The context of it is he's had a previous history of assault and battery charges. He's gotten probation before. He has not done well on probation. And probation is not a right? You can get probation as a way to avoid jail sentence time without giving up your freedom, but it's not a right. So he was given that opportunity before. He did not do well on previous probation. The judge is like, listen, you're back here before me again, and you didn't do well before when you did on probation. So at this point, based on your history of not doing well on probation, I'm going to go ahead and sentence you to actual behind bars. As soon as the defendant said, nah, F that, and I was the judge, I would have been on defense. Like, wait, what? She sat there too long for my liking to allow him to approach her that easily without her getting up and ready to move, right? Now, in the courtroom, I used to be a judicial law clerk for a judge for 2 years in D.C. In the courtroom, there's a courtroom clerk. Sometimes the judicial law clerk sits in there as far as to assist the judge with certain matters. There's supposed to be a marshal there, a U.S. marshal that's supposed to protect the judge and the other courtroom staff. And we have the prosecution, and this is a criminal defense case, prosecution and defense, and then other people, right? I don't see how, with all those people in that courtroom, how this defendant, after he said, nah, F that, and started to walk towards the judge, how he got that close with him by intercepting. His defense attorney who was next to him didn't do anything to prevent it. the prosecution, the U.S. Where were these people at, right? So he was able to Superman himself over the bench and attack the judge. And then, so her judicial law clerk was sitting next to her, not the courtroom clerk, the judicial law clerk was sitting next to her and trying to help her. U.S. Marshals finally gets in there, and another marshal, I guess, comes in, and they're trying to pull him off of her. Meanwhile, he's like pummeling her. And I'm just like, sir, you thought you was going to jail before, you going to prison now. That's what I thought about it. At the end of the video, you see his defense counsel kind of walk up to the bench area and kind of just stand there like, how am I going to explain this, right? Because how do you explain this? Like, you try to convince the judge that you're a person that's a good candidate for probation, and then you do something like this. As you can expect, he was later charged with 13 new charges, right? So I'm just like, sir, you starting out the year a bad way. Got 13 new charges for attacking the judge, who's a protected person, the other courtroom staff, the U.S. Marshal, as you saw in the video, ended up being injured. Let me show you what his additional, and luckily, fortunately, the judge was not hurt more. She was back to work a day after being attacked by a defendant in a felony battery case, who was captured on video charging forward and Supermaning over the judge's bench after it became clear he was going to be sentenced to prison. The defendant, now, I don't know how to pronounce his name because it seems like it's a male defendant. His name looks like it should be Deborah, but I think it's maybe Deobra. Deobra Redden is scheduled to face Clark County District Court Judge Mary K. Holthus again Monday morning for his rescheduled sentencing. He later told correctional officers that he had a bad day and tried to kill her. Sir, having a bad day and trying to kill the judge is an understatement. At a news conference Thursday, Weiss shared a statement from Holthus, who fell back from her seat against the wall when the defendant landed on top of her and grabbed her hair, toppling an American flag onto them. Holthus suffered some injuries and was evaluated but not hospitalized. She wanted me to thank all of the well-wishers and others who have expressed concern for her and her staff. She is extremely grateful for those who took brave action during her attack. Now, I mentioned before that I was also a judicial law clerk, and I'm like, well, I have stories to tell about my time there. I was also in the criminal calendar, and the antics that you see in court, this is nothing compared to that. I'm sure this judicial law clerk is like, they do not pay me enough for this foolishness. He was trying to defend the judge, though. That says a lot as far as this was out of character for anything that required for his position. He was punching people and trying to get them off. But it was one person against three, and he was still getting the best of some of them. So I'm just like, what is going out there in Nevada? Let me know what you think in the comment section, because like I said, I was viewing it from different viewpoints, from the judge, from the defense counsel, from the judicial law clerk. But I want to know what you think from your perspective. R. Willis. Hi, R. Willis. My sister mentioned it to me, but it looks horrible to see it. Yes, it's a lot. And that's what they said, warning, because when you go into a courtroom, you may see some things. And when people are facing loss of liberty, the fact that they're going to be away from their family, I've seen a lot of emotions be expressed through the defendants, right? Judges begging, pleading, judge, please, no, I got to do this. I got to do this. And my judge should say, you knew when you was coming here today, I gave you the chance to, get your affairs in order, because they would say, I got to do this. I didn't do this before I left the house. I just came here. I thought she was going to give me probation. And the judge says, when you was here last time, I told you, you were not going to get probation. You should have had your affairs in order. Marshals, please take them to the back. Right. And just the life being left their face, they're just like, oh my God, I'm going to jail, I'm going to prison. I didn't think that the judge was going to do that. And I'm just like, he kind of told you. It wasn't a surprise. And sometimes it is a surprise that they're going to get prison or jail time. This time, I don't think it was a surprise. I'm sure his attorney told him the chances of him not getting probation, and it was like, listen, it's up to the judge. So the fact that he's just like, nah, F that, and he just like, let me just go take my chances and jump, that was going to make it better, sir? Was that going to make it better? And so as defense counsel, when you're an attorney, you have to be able to understand both sides of the defense, right? So as a defense attorney, you want to represent, and everybody is entitled, as a criminal, you're entitled to representation, and whoever represents him on these other new charges has quite a tall tale. I'm sure they're going to ask him to plead out. But to say that sometimes pleading out is your best deal, right? In this case, he was pleading guilty to his battery case. And he pled guilty probably with the hopes that he was going to get probation. But he also knew he had a history of not doing well in probation, right? And sometimes probation might be your most favorable outcome. You're going to have something, there are consequences for your actions, right? In this case, he has to still resolve the charge that he's before her on. Now he has 13 new charges that was captured on camera, right? So at this point, are you going to even waste anybody's time saying that she didn't do it? Perhaps a brief moment of insanity because he faced, this is me just trying to be like an attorney, brief moment of insanity as he tried to face the prospects of him not seeing his family, whatever. He had some loss, right? And kind of just did something that he wouldn't normally do. But then you also got to realize, like, he did normally do this, right? That's why he was there before the judge at that time, because this is part of his MO. So it's kind of hard to say. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I know some people think that some judges are not as tough as they should be. I'm in Texas, and we see sometimes the judges let the defendants get released on bail for some type of their egregious cases. And it's like, how'd you let them out on bail? And then they go do something again. In this particular case, the judge is like, well, I'm not going to be soft on it because he is a threat to society. He needs to sit down somewhere for a little bit until he gets his act together. And so I think there's a contrast between what happens, and this was in Nevada, and what happens in Texas, because a lot of times the judges, we have cash bail system here, and people just post bail and go out and go and never come back, or post bail and go commit another crime. And a lot of people in Texas believe that, and just in the United States, that the states that do have the cash bail process, that it's not effective. Like, just the fact that you have enough money to be released should not mean that you should be released. Some people are dangerous. And as he proves, like I said, I don't know if his name is Deobra or whatever, he proved that he's not safe to society. If he's willing to say he wanted to kill the judge, he's not safe for society. So Janice says, sure, be charged. He got 13 new charges based off of, he came in there for a battery charge, and now he has 13 new ones. So we'll see what ends up happening. So let me know. I haven't been on YouTube in the last month or so, and I know that we have some new viewers here. If you're here, we have something for everybody here. We have Veterans Channel for veterans benefits. If you are an aspiring attorney, we have a pre-law, law school, and beyond playlist. If you're trying to get your personal finances in order because it's the beginning of 2024 and you want to maximize your 401k or maximize your TSP benefits, we have a personal finance channel. We have vlogs where we travel to different areas and you can kind of benefit from if you are interested in visiting those things. So check out our channel. We have something for everyone. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button before you hop out of here. It pushes it out to the YouTube algorithm so they share it with a wider audience. But I thank you all for being a part of our TXC journey. And thank Judy and Janice and R. Willis for joining on the live today. And I'm going to put something in our community so you can let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the future for 2024. Thank you all for joining today, and Happy New Year.